So the Capstone project is our senior requirement as a part of the LSM program. And so the way it works is it starts in August and it's a year-long endeavor. Basically, these scientific founders from actual biotech companies or just academic centers or research centers provide us with technologies, and the whole point of the course and the whole point of the year is to design a full plan for technology. If we were in charge of this drug or this molecule or this therapeutic, how would we take it from initial design in the research lab all the way across the finish line to the market?
Today we'll be talking about our in vivo CAR-T platform, and specifically 4 key strategic decisions that we've made for its development.
So the technology that we were pitching today was an in vivo CAR-T platform. It's based on a real-life technology, which is very exciting. Essentially, we were looking at treating cancer, at least initially, and then potentially like autoimmune indications in the future.
I'm always overwhelmed by the quality of the work every year that I come, and each year there's typically 4 projects, and in fact we've seen both many of the projects turn in to companies that have created value both for patients and shareholders. And as important, if not more important, I've seen a lot of these students that come from the Vagelos program in the real world, and many of them now work in our fund, and we're so thankful that we get to work with some of these great students.
The LSM presentations exemplify the range and the breadth of the therapies that we train these students in. So you'll hear presentations on small molecules, large molecules, medical devices, cell therapies, gene therapies, all packaged together and illustrating to the audience how biology and business fit together.
This is the first time for me attending the LSM Capstone presentation, and I have to say I am blown away. Understanding the science and technology, and then being able to understand what it takes to get that medicine from approval to access and ultimately adoption for patients. That end-to-end view is something that they're getting a 360 understanding of, as well as Q&A from a lot of advisors that are in those roles today.
The depth of understanding of the students really becomes apparent as they're asked questions from an audience that they haven't been specifically prepared for. One is repeatedly surprised that over a broad aspect of the development of their products, they've thought through the key questions, whether they're scientific questions, preclinical model questions, mechanism of action, clinical trial design, pricing issues, competitive issues. Whatever you present them with, they've given it some careful consideration and have a thoughtful response for why they've made the choices that they have.
I think it's fair to say that it's through the team-based capstone projects that some of the longest lasting and strongest bonds are established among LSM students. It's what brings the alums back to attend the capstone presentations and relive the experience they shared with their peers, while at the same time serving as a sounding board for the latest crop of presentations.
So today I presented, and I had the great fortune of getting to share more about my organization, Health and Education Alliance, at the LSM Capstone Presentation Day. Those skills, which culminate in the LSM Capstone Presentation Day and the course as a whole, where teamwork is critical, I think that is the biggest things that have carried forward to my work as a nonprofit starter and with this business model I've developed, where truly the biggest thing I do and the most rewarding part is just how can we listen, learn from each other, and keep an open mind to catalyze change.
So when I was asked to lead the capstone course, I told the directors of the program that it was really important that we focus on true scientific breakthroughs, that we start real companies, and that the healthcare ecosystem be a centerpiece of the class. Over the past decade, our graduates have begun to shape the future of healthcare.